Yo, what's going on out there? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, hanging out with Daniel Donato, Cosmic Country and Trouble No More, the two main projects you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Cosmic Country, where did that term come from? I know that the cosmic part comes from that.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead, Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
Little psychedelicness.
Yeah, some fish in there as well.
Fish, of course, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of cosmicness that came from like Ralph Mooney.
Okay.
And Danny Gatton.
Yeah.
And a lot of the early pedal steel players. These are all players that played country, but they were already jazz heads.
Yeah.
And so they were doing, 1-4-5s, but there was 1-6-2-5s in there, and then there was minor fours, and there was diminished, and there's a lot of chromaticism happening, and then you get flanger, or you get phaser, and a lot of that kind of interpretation of what is normal, and then expanding it, say country, and making it a little bit more cosmic. That's kind of a trail that I have always listened to. And I started playing down at Robert's Western World.
When you were a little kid?
I was a little kid, like 16. Yeah. We would play from like 6 to 10 p.m. 4 nights a week. 2 10-minute breaks.
And who's we?
The Don Kelly Band. Yeah, that was kind of my apprenticeship. That was my schooling. I would get there 4 hours early all the time, and I would go listen to whoever was playing there, and they would just be these absolute legends of country music that no one knew. So many great players, and I would just sit there and ask them questions. What was it like playing with Glenn Campbell at Farm Aid in '84? Yeah. But the theory and the harmony they were using was just so complex, and I was just absorbing it all.
Okay.
I was just obsessed
with
it.
So what made you first want to play guitar?
Guitar Hero actually was it. I was terrible at skateboarding, and I was trying desperately to fit in with friends, and I was kind of miserable and depressed and hyper-neurotic and ADHD and like all these things. We had Guitar Hero at my house.
Yes.
And none of the other kids did. But I remember hearing Paradise City, and there was this one fill, and there's just something about that just took hold of my soul and gave me this vision of myself doing it. And that was the first time I ever had a vision for my life.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it's been me like tracing those footsteps to try to find more visions.
When did you start hybrid picking? Now, a few of you that are just getting into it, basically you're using the pick and your other finger.
And so you could use all three. Chet Atkins used all three. That's who I got into it from, was Chet Atkins.
Okay.
And so if you're a player that's looking to find a way to expand what you do with your right hand, or just expand the muscle of what your right hand is, and you don't ever commit to hybrid picking fully, I think it should be like an essential exercise just to practice.
Okay.
Because it expands your rhythm understanding.
Well, I haven't done it, so give me the essential exercise.
So one that's really simple is just establishing rhythm with it. So if we could take something in C, like an A position C, really, if we just have this, that's the simple way. And then you could expand the intensity of the exercise by making a dominant 7. And then you could also make it a sus4, which is just going from fret 5 on that B string with the pinky to fret 6. And then you start finding yourself in these kind of classical sounding inversions, but what Chet Atkins does is he brings it into more of an American sounding open C position.
So you're using your middle finger and ring finger.
Yeah, so those are the two fingers I use the most. Now the middle finger, it's quite a marvelous tool to take a sentence that you're gonna play and say most sentences might end with a period. So I can start and end a sentence with an exclamation point with the middle finger.
Okay. Gotcha.
And there's a connection that happens from the soul, which is almost this invisible thing, to this tangible middle finger, which creates a real sound. I can just do that all day.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing here is
get a little funky with it. awesome. You probably can't play without using your fingers now, I bet.
Yeah, so my whole practice regimen is divided into 2 sections, and it's non-creative practice and then creative practice. And so the non-creative practice is kind of like if you follow like The Rock on Instagram, and he's just like in the gym, and he's going, and it's like 5 a.m.
Mechanics, fundamentals.
Yeah, and so all of that is, so one thing I'll do when we're on tour is I'll run through different modes, and I run through the modes with just a pick.
Okay.
And then I'll run through them hybrid picking. I want to make sure that I'm as conscious as I can of any dynamic that I'm bringing to the guitar at any time. So if I'm playing with just my pick, I have to be aware of just what that kind of muscular phenomena feels like. And then I also have to be aware of what the fingers feel like. And if you're aware of all those things, it's almost like if you're having a conversation at Thanksgiving and you don't know that you're screaming.
Yeah.
You want to, so I want to make sure that I can have a very light touch. And I want to do it with the pick, with the hybrid.
Was that just middle finger?
Just middle. And then you could do both. Exercise that I would give everybody for that is one that an early mentor of mine named James Mitchell showed me. And he plays a guitar that looks like this one, which is a Brent Mason style modified Telecaster, which is very Nashville working man style thing.
Oh yeah.
So a great exercise to start to get yourself into hybrid picking is to simply have quasi-chromatics of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up, all the way up. And then when we reach here on fret 4, we start 1 fret higher, and then we go pinky down. So we have pinky, ring, middle, index, which is the opposite of what we did to ascend. And you're gonna do this all the way until you get to the 15th fret. And the variations that you can find on this exercise could be just with the pick. That's a good way to start. What I do this before every show. And then the second one is pick and middle ring. It's very zen, just do it. I like to do it with a metronome. I have an old school metronome that I bring on the road, the one that you set manually, and the band hates it.
You mean the pendulum?
Yeah. And then the next one is a pick, middle, pick, ring, which is what Brent Mason does. Okay. Which is, so I have pick, middle, pick, ring, pick, middle, pick, ring. Incredibly hard to do at speed. Yeah. But it creates a staccato sound that is likened to a violin, a mandolin, or a piano. So you get this kind of sound that a lot of guitar players through the time since the start of guitar have kind of evolved away from, where we really got into a lot of legato sounding. But I really love, if you want to play country, and that's a big thing for cosmic country too, is a lot of chromatics that are very staccato. That's the vibe there. Oh, Bertha?
Yeah, go for it.
One thing I want to thank you for, I don't think this gets talked about enough. There is no wrong way to play anything. And a lot of guitar players that teach on YouTube, they will tell you that the way they are showing you it is the right way to play it. And I almost feel like that is like a manipulative tendency to make you subscribe to what they're doing.
Sure.
What you always did, even from the days when I bet it was like one Nikon camera and like the battery running out and
Actually,
you doing
laptop.
it yourself. Yeah.
Laptop camera.
I was with you in those early days. One thing you did for me as a 12-year-old, which I still carry with me today as a 27-year-old, you always made it clear to us that this is not the only way to play something, and that you should learn at the other parts of the fretboard. That is a big deal
Well, thank you for.
Yeah.
I mean, any compliment from you is taken to heart. I appreciate it.
I wanted to thank you for that. That left a
that's
great
kind.
impression on me as a young kid, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really kind of you. All right, Daniel Donato, pound it.
Thank you, Marty.
Check him out in all the links. We'll just give these guys a little jam out. But I'm excited. Your band is here, and we're gonna do a jam in a second here after this. After this video.
Tune in, full band, Marty Music.
I can't wait. All right.
I'll be
thanks
back.
again, you guys. We'll hope to see you soon. Support Daniel Donato.